Hey, at least today there's better news, just better, tiny little better news in South Africa. Julius Malema is going to prison. Yay! Yay! Yo, I'm so happy. The Zulu me, the black South African native me, the patriot of this country me. But it's just partial happiness, but I'm happy. You know what? Ngiyajabula ukuthi uzo understand ukuthi uya ejele because angithi naye he led us in the march against Zuma when they all lied to us and said Zuma is the state capturer. And then I attended that march in Pretoria with my friends from here in Soweto, Snawane. We went to attend there. We got fooled by the EFF, by the DA, by the IFP was also there, and others. We got fooled. So we participated because we thought it is okay. On my side, I attended because I was against Zuma giving the nuclear energy project to Russians. I was never into the state capture thing because first and foremost, I did not understand it. I did not understand why it seemed to target one person. So I was ignorant of those issues. But on the issue of nuclear deal, I was offended with Zuma giving the nuclear deal to Russians. I was not fighting for Zuma to give the nuclear deal to Chinese or whites. I was saying we as South Africans can do that by ourselves. We already built Kuberg way back. We even had a nuclear bomb in Pretoria, Pelindaba. Why are we getting foreigners to build what we can build for ourselves? Which is the same thing that I asked about. What the hell are these black punks, black foreigners doing in my country? Because we have got no need of them, even the ones that you are calling legal immigrants, because they are occupying positions endless South Africans were well trained and equipped to doing, especially also if we use white stats. Our South African institutions where we graduate are far superior than Zimbabwe ones. So where did they get that experience to occupy all these positions in South Africa? And then you're going to tell us that they actually got that because of international exposure where they went to work internationally. We've got abundant black South Africans working internationally as well. So why aren't they in those positions? Instead, black South Africans are telling you one thing as international professionals. When they try to come back to South Africa, they want to pay them peanuts, which is what these black punks from Zimbabwe have accepted, therefore causing us to go further down and white people to go further up, where the Gini coefficient racially is huger. Yeah, let's break this English. Is huger than before 1994. Thanks to the wicked, evil DA racists and the dumb, evil ANC. So that was the reason I joined that march, basically. I was not joining the march to fight with Zuma, but to oppose the nuclear deal issue. 5 years later, the same whites want to give the nuclear deal to whites at a higher price. The DA. Oh, so it was about that. Come 3 years later, or rather even 2 years later, they appointed Ramaphosa as their candidate. He was appointed by white capital. We vote this wicked foreigner out. The same DA foreigners impose him on us on May 2024. And then I'm watching the IFP is not saying anything against Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa has got scandals. Notwithstanding that he massacred people in Marikana, is that not supposed to be an issue? It was an issue when Bure massacred people in 1976 and in Sharpeville. Why is Ramaphosa's one a non-issue? And then he continues on July 2021, he massacres Zulus. All right, and these are non-issues. On what basis are they non-issues? Because they were issues before 1994. So why were they done by a black face that is representing white capital, Europe and local in Cape Town and Stellenbosch? Why is it not an issue when that man is killing my black people? Why? So this is justice, the targeting. This is a travesty of justice. Courts are owned by the DA, and then the parliament is owned by the ANC. Both of these are just the one and the same organization, except that the other ones are black, the other ones are white, but they basically read the same scripts. So now, when Ramaphosa is found literally with money in his couch, which Indians do all the time, but they don't get sent SARS, like Mamkiza got sent SARS. Indians, especially Islamic Indians, they bank money in their houses. They 500 what billion owed to SARS. It's Indians and whites owing that money, but they are not in prison. But they targeted Mamkize by the same Ramaphosa GNU government that is targeting Zulus. All right. So now, so when Ramaphosa is found literally doing a crime, he's not in prison. The DA rushes to covering up his accounts to conceal their white involvement in the looting of black South Africa and black Africa via people like Ramaphosa who are all over Africa. That's where the duplicity got to be glaring. That is why we had to apologize to Zuma and say, sorry, it clearly was not about state capture. In any case, state capture, the state was captured by white colonialists of Europe since 1879. So that has never changed. We have made zero progress to wresting SA's economy away from white colonialists. It's still owned by them. That is why they're controlling this country even now. Because black, and actually they're bringing black foreigners to decimate black SA natives out of the informal sector, because they thought we would be begging for their help as white people some decade ago, and they realized that we are surviving without their economy because we've got an alternative economy called informal sector. Now they came for the informal sector economy, and they came for the taxi industry, and they came because they are hell-bent at destroying black independence, as in self-sustenance, which is exactly what they did in 1879 when they saw that Zulus cannot be turned into their laborers. They attacked the Zulu nation in order to dismantle Zulu family and Zulu society so that they can create laborers out of Zulu men. That was the exact intent. It is written in history. It is not written in their formal history, but it is written in history. The reason they destroyed Zulu economics is because they couldn't make Zulus their laborers. So the white capital of Europe always wants black natives to be their laborers. To this day, they are exactly attacking. The only blacks they don't attack are those ones who align with their white capital, white superiority economic system. And then when you target that, they call you a socialist and a communist. No, now we have understood why you killed those blacks. You are not killing them for socialism and communism. If you wanted to kill people for being communists, you should have started with Jews who started communism. You should have killed a lot of Russians. You should have killed a lot of whites of Europe for socialism. So why were you killing black African leaders for those, whereas you were not killing your white ones? So it was not about socialism stroke communism. You were killing them because they were fighting to be sovereign countries, even economically, which your West cannot survive without. You survive by looting Africa. You are wicked, a wicked race that survives by looting and starving the black race. Evil, absolute. No, there's no free trade. There's no free enterprise. There is white economics to preserve white superiority. That's what you are doing. So we realized that, and then we climbed off that nonsensical train and apologized to Zuma. So Malema was part of the marchers because he's DA one day and then he's a fake Pan-Africanist the other day, but he's propagating European mafia interests in our country. All right. So if a person, a punk like that goes to prison, yay! Maybe we can now go back. Now that the EFF is dying, let it die and be removed completely, because these are things which were diverting our attention from actual issues. Now we can fast track driving out these illegal immigrants who were brought here to divert our attention from land redress. We need to rush back to land redress now. And this matter has got to be led predominantly by black South African kings, not by politicians. Politicians must accompany kings in rectifying the wrongs and the fraudulent documents which were even constructed in 1950s, the so-called Freedom Charter, which was not written by black South Africans, but the author is Jewish. I am not an anti-Semite. I stand with Israel. All Canaan belongs to Israel, but I won't allow Jewish people and their DA and their liberalism to hijack interests of my country, undermine the sovereignty of my Zulu nation and other nation. This is not Israel. This is South Africa. Respect us in our land, same way we respect you in your Israel. Go fight to reclaim all your Canaan back to yourselves. This is not the land that God allocated you. Yes, you can trade with South Africa whilst you are in Israel, and if you are deciding to stay in South Africa, you will respect us. This is not your Israel country, and we are Gentiles in our land. We are Gentiles, but we are in our land. So your land is there, Israel. So you can't control us here. You have got to honor and respect us in our God-given land. Thank you. So angeke sizwe ngani. Zuma, he did go to prison. O'Sullivan did not get locked up for contempt of court because he's white. Malema is going to prison because he's black, of course, but we have got no sympathy for him. So we will wait for Stellenbosch and white DAs and them to go to jail themselves. Thank you.